I didn't like look into the entirety of this. Um, said the shooters from Odessa, I think, and then I think the shooting was in Midland. One is Texas, right? I more so just want to talk about like the intricacies of what popped into my head because like we all know every type of oppression is monetized, and we all know white supremacy, patriarchy, um, transphobia, anti-LGBTQ, all that capitalism, all fused, and it's a whole clusterfuck of all the shit, right? Um, I just thought about the fact that like literally, it's like obviously this was always on purpose, right? They've always not given a fuck about their own kids. They don't give a fuck about their own people in general. Besides the fact that white supremacy is monetized and they really think they're superior and they want to be better than everybody and control everybody and make the most money and hoard and use humanity to fund their like never ending need to control and basically eat everything in like the like small way of saying that. Feed on everything. There we go. Um, but it just lets me like think about how fucking sick and demented these people are. They purposely will let white people crash out and do things like this and kind of encourage it in culture through, incel ideologies, white supremacy ideologies, patriarchal ideologies that they are like oppressing men with. Then they know those men are going to go out and take it out on children and random people and their own family members, women more so, children more so, in events like this. And they just monetize that aspect to make the richer people richer from it. And then it continues the perpetuation of like all this stuff, right? Then they blame it on things that aren't the actual problems. They don't fix the problems. They come up with like tiny things they can monetize that they pretend fix the problems. And it's just like all very purposeful and intentional. And it's just disgusting. Like, how are we not like that disgusted? It's just one little thing, by the way. Just the concept of like school shootings and shootings and like the the mental warping of men to hate themselves and hate everybody so much and then blame the wrong people to go out and hurt those random people because all those people being killed makes money for the system in all these layered different ways. And they're so like brainwashed essentially and so like unempathetic and so like they hate themselves so much, right? They hate everybody else so much and they're focused on like oppressing everybody else and and to where like it doesn't matter like to them. They'd rather make us suffer with them and believe that we are below them and they want to like be those guys that they hate and are jealous of at the same time, but they take out all that frustration on the people in the worst positions to them or the exact positions of them or that have somewhat better lives or that they just don't care about those people and views them as like nothing to kill them and hurt them. It's insane. It's fucking insane. I don't know. It's just something I thought about. Like this, the intricacy of the fact that shootings are allowed because everybody's death and trauma is highly monetized in a layered way to where they're making money and strengthening white supremacy and strengthening our oppression every time something like this happens. And then it just continues and continues and continues and continues and continues. And then people will fight about it, fight about what needs to be done, and fight about the intricacies of like what the actual problems are. Even though it's a layer and there's layers of problems that go into it, right? So if we're fighting about what the problem is, the actual problem is to solve this situation, and that can never be fixed. You're never gonna look at the totality of the issues that is like the actual problem to be able to even get to that point. And this is just like with one of the many events that is constructed from the layered trauma that they fucking purposely have built into society, into the ideologies, into the occurrences. We're so fucked. Like this is so fucked. Why do we like it here again? I need someone to explain to me. Cause I've never got it, and nobody's been able to answer it. They've been able to deflect. They've been able to say, "Hey, but you can live your own life," but nobody has actually answered why they think the world is supposed to be like this and why this is good. Other than, oh well, you can make your life work for you. It doesn't work for me because I don't want to see this for other people. Don't care. Don't give a fuck about whatever I could possibly make my life happen. I still would be upset about having to exist here within whatever the fuck this is. And I just don't understand how like I can be this upset about it and everybody can, and there could be other people that can be that upset and harmed by it, right? But like everybody else doesn't. Enough of us don't view it that way at all. They're just kind of like, well, that's how it is, and just accept this. That's life. It doesn't fucking have. It never had to be. It never had to be though, which is the fucking point that you should be upset about. Fuck.